Road safety is everybody's business. Road traffic safety refers to the method and measures used to prevent road users from being killed or seriously injured. Typical road users include pedestrians, cyclists, motorists, vehicle passengers, and passengers of on-road public transportation, mainly buses and taxis. As sustainable solutions for all classes of roads have not been identified, a number of ministries and agencies in Guyana are collaborating to implement and enhance strategies to improve road safety locally. In this week's edition of Guyana 411, we examine some of the strategies that have been implemented and those that will be implemented during the year to reduce speeding and accidents to reduce the loss of lives. I am Zanil Williams. Thank you for joining us, and this is Guyana 411. The Ministry of Public Infrastructure, the Guyana Police Force, and the Guyana Road Safety Council, among other agencies, have collaborated to make the roads of Guyana safer.
A national action plan which complements the National Road Safety Strategy GNRSC 2013 to 2020 and help Guyana meet the Decade of Action for Road Safety 2011 to 2020 plan to reach 50% death rate reduction by 2020 is being executed. At the launch on May 3, 2017, the plan was presented in a holistic and detailed manner which identified the major roles of stakeholders. The action plan also outlines a number of initiatives that will aid in road safety. Coordinator of the Guyana National Road Safety Council, Ramona Durjan.
They now have signed the commitment forms. They're saying that they're going to take up their commitment and their role and responsibility for road safety in our country. And that is the main purpose of this plan, having all the players, the key players, come together, recognizing what is their role, what is their responsibility, and implementing.
The action plan also sees extensive training being given to police ranks and members of the media so that they can aid in the promotion of road safety measures.
This is what the action plan is all about. The action plan is giving you your roles, your responsibilities, and the Road Safety Council assisting in having the media trained properly to be able to deliver when it comes to road safety in anywhere, in any area, knowing how to handle, because you sometimes be the first at the scene of an accident, of a crash, and it might be gruesome. You need training in all those areas. We're going to continue to train our police officers in every area we can.
One of the successful initiatives of the action plan is the White Night campaign. It is a collaborative effort between the Guyana Police Force, the Guyana National Road Safety Council, and the media. It aims to encourage the proper road usage by all, with the aim of reaching the United Nations Decade for Action for Road Safety of a 50% decrease in fatal accidents by 2020. According to Durjan, when the program was launched in November of 2016, there were only 6 deaths as compared to 15 for the same period in 2015. The campaign was recently relaunched due to the tremendous success coming out of the pilot program. The campaign entails roadblocks which are set up at different locations across the country. Prominent citizens such as traffic ranks from all divisions, executive members of the GNRSC, government ministers, the Commissioner of Police, associative members, and all citizens who feel they can make a difference are being urged to be part of this innovative campaign.
4 pedestrian overhead passes are being constructed. One at the Harbour Bridge next to the Neighborhood Democratic Council, another at Eccles on the eastern side of the traffic light, a third in the vicinity of Houston Secondary School, and another at Diamond on the east bank of the Demerara.
A pedestrian overpass or crosswalk is a place designated for pedestrians to cross a road. Crosswalks are designed to keep pedestrians together where they can be seen by motorists and where they can safely cross against the flow of vehicular traffic. These new crossings are part of efforts to enhance traffic and pedestrian management on the busy East Bank Demerara corridor. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Geoffrey Vaughan, says that the new overhead pedestrian crossings will have features which will enable the elderly and persons with disabilities to have an equal opportunity to use them.
It's a normal design. One is a pedestrian overpass and one is a vehicle overpass. And it's a design where, you know, persons will be able to now not having to interface with the traffic, but they'll now be able to use an overhead walkway, which would basically give them time to get over the road.
Traffic congestion at the Diamond intersection, where the overhead pass is to be constructed, has been contributing heavily to delays at peak travel times. In the mornings between 700 hours and 900 hours, and in the evening from 1600 hours to 1830 hours. During these peak hours, a number of accidents often occur. The overhead pass will see pedestrians being out of harm's way.
The construction of a pedestrian crossing, a pedestrian overhead crossing at Diamond East Bank, Demerara Region 4, the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, a contract in the sum of $364,727 US, and that contract was awarded to S. Jagmohan Hardware Supplies and Construction Services.
The East Bank Road, amongst the busiest in the country, provides linkages to not only several villages along the way, but also to the Demerara Harbour Bridge. A pedestrian overpass will be erected on the eastern side of the Demerara Harbour Bridge to allow for persons to cross from the southern to the northern side and back. At the Eccles intersection, near the traffic lights, another overhead pass will be erected. This will allow for pedestrians to cross safely from the eastern and western carriageways. Another will be built at Houston, where the secondary school is located. There is a road nearby leading to the Gaffords Mall and other business places. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Geoffrey Vaughan, advises Guyanese to be alert during the construction phase and take the necessary precautions.
Pleading with residents, we know there will be some amount of discomfort sometimes, but we're just asking for them to abide with us. We will inform them when those works will be started, so persons are given a good headway in terms of making alternative arrangements should that be the case.
These crossings are less physically taxing compared to overhead bridges or underpasses. They are among several measures aimed at improving access to public transportation for the elderly and the disabled.
The Ministry of Public Infrastructure is constructing a number of sleeping policemen, also known as speed bumps, at critical intersections in the capital city.
Universally, speed humps, also called sleeping policemen, have been proven to deter excessive speeding. This translates to fewer traffic accidents. The Ministry of Public Infrastructure consulted with the Police Force's Traffic Department, and this has seen more than 33 speed bumps being installed on several city streets as a means of curbing speeding and reducing accident rates. Drivers in Georgetown have encountered them in Camberville, Bel Air, on Waterloo Street close to Kwamina Street, and in more recent times close to the Four Corner Junction at Shiv Chandra Paul Drive North Road, Peter Rose and Church Streets, and Norton Street. The Guyana Police Force is reminding motorists that moderation is the key to safe driving.
Smythe Street is one of the streets. We have since placed speed humps there as well. Hartfield Street is an area that we've identified. And in some areas like Waterloo Street, Carmichael Street, those are some of the streets that you will see speed humps at the approach of the intersections. Why the speed hump at the intersection? It serves as a reminder that you need to stop before you cross that intersection. Many a times persons would drive across an intersection, and when you do investigate, you find that that person either failed to stop or choose not to stop. Or sometimes they just slow down. Observe and proceed, but you ought to stop, observe, and then proceed. Many times a lot of the drivers will just give a flash, and you give a flash, you cannot have a total view of both areas at the same time, so hence your judgment can be badly judged.
Speed bumps are modular and span the entire width of a road if desired, meaning that vehicles can pass over them with less of a jolt. Vehicles can safely maintain speeds of up to 15 miles per hour whilst driving over them. They're better suited to local roads and lanes where low speeds are preferred, but full stops are not necessary or convenient. In order to effectively reduce speed, speed humps are usually placed on roads between 50 feet and 250 feet apart. The decision for placement is taken after consultation and research.
With the speed humps there now, the accidents have since reduced, Last year we had an increase in damage accidents. To date, we are noticing a decrease in all categories of accidents. So the speed humps are serving as a factor to reduce accidents in general.
Speed humps do reduce speed. Several studies have shown a 40% speed reduction for most vehicles. Excessive speeding is deterred. These effects translate to fewer accidents, and children are much less likely to be struck by cars in neighborhoods where speed humps are installed.
The Ministry of Public Infrastructure is spending millions of dollars to place road safety signs across Guyana to ensure that the laws are observed and to save lives.
A traffic sign or road sign conveys information or an instruction or warning to road users. Some of these signs include the school zone, pedestrian crossing, no left turn, no right turn, and no U-turn, among others. With traffic volumes increasing, many countries have adopted pictorial signs or otherwise simplified and standardized their signs to overcome language barriers and enhance traffic safety. Guyana is one of those countries which have adopted these methods. Signs were erected and will continue to be erected in the coming months by the Ministry of Public Infrastructure in collaboration with the Traffic Department of the Guyana Police Force. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Geoffrey Vaughan, is urging drivers to adhere to the road signs that have been erected around the country.
Our focus mainly will be in terms of putting the signs out there, because we now want person to understand that seeing the signs means a lot. You must know that children are crossing ahead. You need to follow those signs. You must know that there are safety barriers on the road. You must know the speed limits of the road. You must follow these things.
He notes that drivers oftentimes do not adhere to these signs. These result in accidents which either cause death or serious damages to the vehicles involved.
Our drivers tend not to follow road signs, and simply not following road signs are what are causing the accidents to occur. So they need to have a change in mindset. Yes, we can have a number of workshops, but without the individuals not willing to change their mindset when they're using the road, we will have a problem. So it's for the public at large to follow those signs that we're putting out there.
Additionally, Traffic Chief Dion Moore is joining the call for drivers to adhere to road signs.
Painting of pedestrian crossing, we recognize the need for pedestrian crossings to be painted and to be visible so that pedestrians can utilize those crossings. On a lot of occasions, you'll get complaints, you'll get criticisms that pedestrians are not using the crossing. On the other hand, you'll find a lot of pedestrians are complaining that pedestrians are not properly seen on the road. So the move was made to have those crossings repainted in certain areas. And at the same time, we are encouraging those who choose to cross the road to use the pedestrian crossings. In terms of the solid lines on the road, is to guide road users as to how they can traverse the roadways.
DPI would like to remind you of the meaning of some of the common road signs and watch out for them as you traverse the roadways, either as a driver or a pedestrian. Keep right signs. When a road narrows due to dividers or other obstructions, drivers need to be made aware of the change in the path of the roadway. Men at work signs. This is a temporary warning sign used to alert drivers of upcoming road work. Orange is used on this sign because it is one of the most visible colors to the human eye, and it can be noticed above other traffic signs on the road. No U-turn signs. With a curved arrow showing a U-turn and the bold prohibition symbol over it, this standard design is understood to express areas where drivers cannot change the direction of their vehicle into the opposite direction. Pedestrian crossing signs. There are a few versions of the pedestrian crossing signs that are posted near crosswalks and intersections. Speed limit signs. These are essential traffic control signs and can vary in the limit. Stop signs. These are the most iconic of all traffic signs. Both the shape and the color are important to understand how a stop sign is recognized. No other sign is of an octagon shape and no other sign is red in color. This is because of the importance of a stop sign and what it does to traffic safety. Stop signs alert drivers to intersections and other areas where traffic may be traveling in opposite directions. The existing signs and the further erected signs will aid the Traffic Department and the Guyana Road Safety Council in reducing accidents and deaths.
The Traffic Department of the Guyana Police Force has seen a 26% decrease in all categories of road accidents. A number of awareness campaigns and security steps in keeping with the National Road Safety Action Plan 2017-2019 have contributed to the overall decrease. The daily road safety talks on the National Communication Network NCN, Law Enforcement Anew, a monthly program on NCN, the White Night campaign, which encourages drivers not to drink and drive, among others, are just some of the initiatives. The National Road Safety Plan 2017-2019 will assist Guyana to meet the Decade of Action for Road Safety 2011-2020 plan, which aims to reduce death by 50% by 2020. Thank you for joining us on this week's edition of Guyana 411. You can catch these and other programs on DPI website and YouTube channel, and do follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Do have a safe week ahead. I am Zanil Williams, and we leave you with a message from the Traffic Chief, Dion Moore. Goodbye.
Drivers, remember the 5 C's: care, caution, consideration, courtesy, and of course, common sense. If you can advise someone to practice road safety, do so. For you do not know how much you'll be helping that person to minimize accidents and deaths and to save lives on the road.